Now, we got one more story that we want to cover this week, and that was Congressman Devin Nunes of California, who's one of my very favorites, actually, out there. He's one of the few that's really tried to look into all of this Russiagate nonsense and peel back some of the lies that are out there. And he said yesterday on Maria Bartiromo's program that he's going to be making 8 criminal referrals to AG William Barr this week. And we're going to cover what some of those are, but I wanted to start you out with a comment he made just about the Democrat lies, and I think this pretty well sums up the whole Russiagate story for you right here.
If you take what the Democrats have said throughout the last 2.5 years, there's only one thing that you can be certain of, and that is whatever they tell you is wrong or a lie, or they actually mean the opposite.
That pretty well sums it up, doesn't it, everybody? Isn't that what we've seen over the past 2 years? That whatever they tell us is either wrong or it's a lie or they really mean the opposite. Well, with folks like Devin Nunes, straight shooters like him, you can take what he says to the bank. He's not lying to you. And one of the things he's saying is this week he's making 8 separate criminal referrals over some of this Russiagate stuff as well as some of the FISA abuses that preceded it.
We've been working on this for 2.5 years, compiling information, right, as we've continued this investigation. We couldn't really send these criminal referrals over without an attorney general in place. So we're prepared this week to notify the attorney general that we're prepared to send those referrals over and brief him if he wishes to be briefed. We think they're pretty clear. But as of right now, this may not be all of them, but this cleans up quite a bit. We have 8 referrals that we're prepared to send over to the Attorney General this week.
So you catch that, 8 criminal referrals. Now, he goes on to explain that 5 of those referrals are direct criminal referrals where they name the individual that they think should be charged, including with crimes such as lying to Congress, and they name the actual offense. And so that's 5 of those. But 3 of the referrals are actually more general. And they could actually sweep up a lot of people in the actual criminal referrals of those other 3 issues. So while we do have that clip there where he kind of goes through the details, it's a little over a minute and a half. So we're just going to have to suggest that you go out there and you watch that on Maria Bartiromo, because we got the final clip when we come back from the break for you from what Congressman Devin Nunes said yesterday. And the final clip is where he sums up some of the compromises that affect the Mueller investigation and how terribly compromised this investigation team actually was. And I think that's really interesting. You're going to want to hear about that as well as are out there when we come back.
Welcome back to the Morgan Streetman Show. We're ready to go out there, but I know, Morgan, you have a little bit more to wrap up.
I got to share this one more clip with you from Congressman Nunes, because you got to hear what he has to say about just how compromised the Mueller investigation actually was.
Many people that are on the team, the Mueller team, are involved in a lot of these conspiracies, right? So you have the leader on the team, the deputy supposedly, and another top lawyer. Were both involved in the chain of custody of the Steele dossier, the Democratic Oppo Dirt. It is impossible for me to believe that those 2 lawyers, very smart lawyers, didn't know in the middle of 2016 that information was dirt coming from the Democrats. It's impossible. The other 2, you had 2 FBI agents, Strzok and Page, who were kicked off the Mueller team. So I want the underlying information because I think the indictments that were made by the Mueller team, I think some are very questionable. And I think there's pieces of them that always read like Russian spy novels. That was done on purpose to create a narrative to make the American people think, as they were indicting these people, that somehow this had to do with collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. And so what do I want about the Mueller report? I don't care what's in the Mueller report. As a matter of fact, I call it the Mueller dossier. What I want is the information underlying the report so that we can actually look into it. Every time we peel back the onion in this case, what do we find? We find out that somehow high-level officials within the DOJ and FBI were misleading the American people and the court.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. High-level officials within the DOJ and the FBI were misleading America and the FISA court. I mean, that almost could be an out there segment. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.